The following is an Ellwood City Sports production.
Two to the right. Quick pass out there to Dom Ho. He gets up to the 50-yard line. He's got blockers down. He goes, makes a man miss. He's got the first down. Does a little wiggle all the way. He's still on his feet. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Hand off to Partridge. Tucks it in the left hand. He's up the left side, and he's going to go all the way. At the 10, the 5, touchdown! 4th and 15. It's all down to this. Back to pass. Give and chase. Throws it out there, and he's hit. He's short of the line again. He's short of the line again.
Good free kick. Nice header by Keystone Oaks. But taken there by Huth.
Shot on net.
And it's a goal!
Puts it up, and down it goes. That's the game! Playoff win for the Wolverines. Inbound to Caleb serving. Yes! It's gone! Shoots it. It's over! The boy is over! The Wolverines win!
There, the left side field, chasing his left fielder. It's going to go all the way out of the ballpark. A home run. Contact there, deep, sending back the center fielder up to the fence line. A base hit there for Luke Raleigh. She will turn and go to third on the triple.
Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good evening as we come to you tonight from Oak Hill Field, New Brighton, Pennsylvania, where the Ellwood City Wolverines travel that short distance, expect 9 miles down the road to New Brighton to take on the New Brighton Lions. A little sun glare here tonight as we're preparing for kickoff here at 7 o'clock. And we certainly do thank New Brighton for their hospitality up here in the press box. A little crowded, but we're going to make do with what we have here this evening. Bear with us. That sun's going to be about 20 minutes, half hour away before it gets down underneath the trees. Dakota Marshall on camera. He's out in the stands tonight, as we said, tight room. And, of course, producer Brad Windhorst to my right, and myself, Thad Sturgeon, bringing you tonight's section matchup between the New Brighton Lions and Ellwood City Wolverines. Ellwood City coming in with a record of 3-2. New Brighton, same record, 3-2. But you go to the next line, Brad, and EC finds themselves at 2-0. In conference play, New Brighton finds themselves at 0-2.
Yeah, and this week's games for the MAC Conference are all really good games across the board. We're going to try and get as many updates as we can. Obviously, the big one is Western Beaver against Riverside. We get to find out real fast how good is Western Beaver, and on the flip side, where does Riverside stand compared to them, and then more importantly, where they stand with us.
Exactly.
Ellwood gets New Brighton, two teams trending in two different directions, but again, same record. And for Ellwood, you don't want to look past New Brighton and think about next week's game. Worry about tonight. Freedom hosts Beaver Falls, and now all of a sudden that's a big one. You got Freedom and Beaver Falls, two Beaver County teams, but 1-1 apiece. Beaver Falls, their first victory in 16 straight games, get over the hump now, and now they could be in the driver's seat for that third or fourth spot in the standings. We have New Brighton here, and then the last one, and this one is the most important one for both these teams. It's a dire situation. Mohawk and Union, both 0-2. And I don't want to say it this way, but whoever loses that game, it could be the end of your chance at playoffs.
Exactly, Brad. And as you said, both teams trending in two different directions. Ellwood City coming in here on a two-game winning streak as they took care of Freedom last week, 28-14. We can talk a little bit about that game real quick, Brad. I think one of the biggest takeaways there was Wolverines had no turnovers.
Yes.
And we can get more into those as we go through the pregame. Of course, the exciting, dramatic win against Mohawk 2 weeks ago, 21-15 with, as you recall, Tyler Amicone with the 42-yard pass from Tyler Smiley with just mere 16 seconds remaining in the game. And before that, they had the loss to Neshannock. The win, the shutout win against Shenango, and then Laurel. They are who we thought they were. You talk about teams finding out how they are as it progresses. You see that with Laurel, and as they won there 43-14. But looking at the stats you have up there, Brad, go ahead. These teams mirror each other a lot 5 games into the season.
Yeah, both teams right around that 100-point score mark. Ellwood 104 and 98 against. New Brighton 106 for 103 against. And you can see 20.8, 9 points, 19.6, 21.2, 20.6. They're right there, folks. And the passing and the rushing is very similar. Both these teams over 1,200 yards on offense. But, again, two teams potentially trending in two different directions. It's a big one here for Ellwood. You cannot look past the New Brighton Lions.
You say you don't want to look past that, Brad, and you say those stats look a lot the same, but let's just narrow that down a little bit and talk about the last 2 weeks. For the last 2 weeks, New Brighton loses to Riverside 40-6. They lose to Freedom 42-0. So this New Brighton team has gone 8 quarters now and scored 6 points. Before that, their non-conference schedule, they scored 38-0, 42-14, and 20-7 to start off the season against Shenango. I will say about New Brighton, Brad, we've been doing this, 9 years now. 3, 4, 5 years ago, this team, you could look past them. They were not that good. But you got to give some credit to head coach John Masuga as he came in here last year, got a couple wins.
Yep.
And they got a couple wins this year, and they're trending up. So you don't like to see us go on hard times, and I'm just going to say New Brighton was there for a while. You want to talk about this series, Brad?
Yes.
A little bit of history here. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to call this one the first series because, well, it's the Wolverines, it's the Lions. No Tigers, no Bears this week, though. So just only half the amount of furs in that series. All-time record, this is the 68th meeting between these two teams. New Brighton does take the edge. The past 10 or so years, they won about 7 or 6 of those across the board. But since then, the past 3 years, Ellwood has crawled back, winning 3 in a row. Last year, a 33-0 game, a game where they didn't really necessarily statistically dominate. But the moment they lined up, we kind of knew that Ellwood was kind of looking forward to the next game, which would have been at Western Beaver. So, again, this year, you're 3-2. You're not 5-0 or 4-0 going into the Western Beaver. You cannot iterate it so much. You cannot look too far ahead. The most points scored, and that was one of those big games back in 2023. That was a 62-40 game, Ellwood versus New Brighton, a weird and wacky one. We covered that on Ellwood City Sports. And if you look at the point total, folks, over the past 68 meetings, 1,038 to 1,117, it's a difference of just a point per game average.
The first game, 1907.
Which is the first year of Ellwood City football.
And Ellwood City lost that game 13-5. And in 1909, it was 32-0 in favor of New Brighton. So whole lot of history here. Going back, this you said, Brad, the 68th meeting of this matchup. You want to talk about keys to the game?
Yep, keys to the
Brad,
game for this week. Obviously, last week, all 3 phases of the game, they dominated. A 28-14 win over Freedom. Maybe one good drive by Freedom. After that, Ellwood pretty much had that one in cruise control. And the first game of the season, over 400 yards. I guarantee you that offense, they probably ate pretty well last night at the team dinner,
yes, they did.
Shall we say. Ride the momentum. If you're Ellwood, ride the momentum. Take that success and apply it, and that means you're a balanced team now. You can throw the ball. You can run the ball. You also got some good special teams. With that being said, get the ground game going. And this is not necessarily a battle of the trenches, but with this field being grass, the running game is going to take precedence, I think, early on. If you throw the ball, a broken tackle, you may be running down the field as well. And that's why defensive tackling is the most important thing. Every game we've ever covered in the past 6-7 years for Ellwood New Brighton, you've had one play of 50, then 2 plays of 50, then another play of 50. It is usually a broken tackle and gain 30, 40 yards. That could be the difference tonight.
And, Brad, I'm going to escalate on that point. We walked across the field. I was down. You were down there. We walked across to get up to the press box. Although it has been a severe drought, been a fair amount of rain here in the last 72 hours.
Yeah.
That field feels wet. It feels spongy. Does that give the advantage to the runner or the tackler? Well, we're going to find out here in about 5 minutes and 42 seconds as we're just that close to kickoff.
I think most importantly, it's about establishing that pocket. If you do throw the ball, which both these teams definitely will. Carter Jackson throws a lot, 450 yards passing. Tyler, 471. Both these teams throw the ball. You got to make sure that nobody slips, because we've seen that before. If somebody slips, you fall, and it's a sack without anybody touching you.
And we talked about, last week's game, Dom Hogue kind of had a coming out party. It's the Dom Hogue we were expecting to see all year. And Dom finds himself second on the leaderboard within the county as far as receptions. And if you haven't known it yet, folks, we are very, very close to the band here tonight. We might have to close that window, but it's about 88 degrees in here. Did we get a game time temperature, Brad?
Well, I've got officially 76, but with that sun, I guarantee you it's right at 80.
Yep,
Guaranteed.
Yep. So we apologize. Hope you can hear us over the band. We don't think they'll be playing all night, as New Brighton found their way onto the field. Alumni band night here. See some little alumni there with the band tonight, and they introduced our cross-country team here before the game starts, and we're just moments away as the Ellwood City Wolverines now will be taking the field. And they're assembling over there. I think Dakota, has them on camera. And we have number 52, Vinny Curie, with the EC flag, and Anthony Barbario carrying that American flag as they find themselves onto the field for this section matchup. You talked about Carter Jackson, their quarterback, throwing at a pace of about 42%, 12.2 yards per reception. 3 TDs, but something to keep an eye on is 9 interceptions.
Yeah, that's big.
Wolverines defense has 6 interceptions on the year so far. They've given up 6. Quarterback for the Wolverines, Tyler Smiley, has as well.
And Ellwood's defense has been opportune turnover. Not only have they turned the opposing team over, they've also gone for points. The points off turnovers is so crucial.
Well, and them instant points. Interception return, pick 6. We've had a fumble return to start off the game, if you recall, back there against Mohawk. So it should be a very, very exciting game here tonight, as we are just moments away from kickoff. You're going to have to bear with us. We're kind of tucked. You can't even see the scoreboard here, Brad, so I hope you you trust your fingers over there keeping track of the time.
I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of leaning forward, that's for sure.
Yes, we will. So as we're just a nice crowd here from Ellwood City. I know the stands, I think there's many people from Ellwood City here tonight, and it appears as there is from New Brighton. As we come into the captains for the New Brighton Lions is 0, Bryce Porter-Jones. Number 21, Josiah Montanez. Number 14, Jackson Zahn. And number 58, that is Khalil Castaneda. The Wolverines have out there Tristan Reynolds, who, as you see, not have a helmet on as he has the knee issue. Mr. Tyler Smiley. Got 2 more captains out there, but they're not moving. I can't see any numbers yet, Brad, but we'll have them for you.
Number 4, Dom DiNucci. And I want to say...
Declan O'Brien. Senior
number
Declan O'Brien. Declan leading the tackles for a loss.
Okay, so New Brighton won the toss, and they will defer, so Ellwood City will get the ball first.
So... stick around, folks. We're going to have a heck of a ball game here tonight. Pretty good announcer. He's got some enthusiasm going forward here tonight.
Looks like the officials get a little huddle up there. And
yep. Getting over things, get a little bit of a let's go. I apologize. I did not get officials. I'm assuming it's the Beaver County bunch that will be doing the officiating here this evening. Yep, that timing of that sun's just about right,
perfect,
Brad, as we're getting to kickoff.
Yep.
Happen a little quicker than I thought it would, and that's to our advantage. Back deep to receive for the Wolverines is number 1, Dom Hogue, and number 4, Dom DiNucci back there doing the deep back deep for the return.
And then kicking for the New Brighton Lions, that'll be number 2. Yes, that's the quarterback and the kicker tonight, Carter Jackson, a junior, 5'11", 160. So he will quickly kick the ball, come off the field, and be ready for offenses as we go forward here.
So here we are, week 6 of WPIAL football is underway. The run up and the kick drives it down there. Going to be taken by Dom Danucci at the 26-yard line. He breaks through the middle. Got him seeing. He's going to bring that ball all the way out to about the 44-yard line. So a nice return there for Dom Danucci. We haven't seen Dom do that very much back there, but this time he was. So on the tackle was number 34, Lex Lambert. So here comes senior Tyler Smiley leading the offense for the Wolverines. Tyler, number 18, the senior, passing about a 45% rate, 7 TDs, 6 interceptions, scored 3 TDs himself. Brad, not afraid to use the legs, is Tyler Smiley. First play from scrimmage as they break the huddle. Tyler in the shotgun, got Curitan, sends DeLon Curie in motion, back to pass. Finds Dom Hogue, cuts it up the middle, and well read that time for minimal gain was Dom Hogue as he brought down there by Heath Lewis, number 24, but a nice pickup of 4. Last week we saw Dom take that ball a whole lot further. Dom's averaging 13.4 reception yards.
Yeah, unfortunately the pressure there from the New Brighton defense kind of forced Tyler to take extra steps back. Kind of had to float that one in.
Going to bring up a 2nd down and 6 as Tyler's in the shotgun. 3 wideouts left to right. And Curitan plows his way forward. Fumble on him. Drake Davis jumps on the ball. They said he was down. And as Curitan, I thought, was bottled up at the line of scrimmage, he was able to fight his way forward to get a couple yards. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. Ball came out, but they said he was on the ground. Wolverines coming in on 3rd downs this year. Running at a clip of about 26%, 15 of 47, as the ball is just right inside New Brighton territory at the 49-yard line. Smiley back to pass. Once look to right. Finds his man. Barbario gets the 1st down. He needed 4. He got 8. Out of that backfield was Anthony Barbario. He moves the sticks. That's a big play, Brad.
Yes, sir. Tackled there by number 10. That's Josh Ahmed. Not after the 1st down for the Wolverines, and that's a big one. You want to get the momentum early.
Well, I think on that play, Brad, Tyler was looking down that right side, wanting to find one of his favorite receivers, DeLon Curie, but well covered, and he was able to slip it as Barbario came out of the backfield. 1st and 10, ball right on the 40-yard line. DeLon in motion. There's Curitan. Oh, big-time hit there, as big number 50 was in there to put the final lick on him. That is Matthew Steele Jr.
Yeah, and that was actually Julian Frisk.
Porter Jones.
Yep, that was
sorry.
Julian Frisk.
You'll see that Coach Bradley mixing it up here a little bit with Curitan and Frisk. And you'll sometimes see Barbario get the ball in there. The one question, Brad, I don't see a play clock. Do you?
Nope, they're going to go with the play clock. The back judge will put up 5 seconds to alert the quarterback when it hits 5 seconds.
Getting low of time. So, 2nd and 9. There's Curitan, tries the left side, got a little bit of a seam, and a good tackle 24. As he closed quickly was number 24, Heath Lewis. His 2nd tackle so far tonight. I thought Curitan had a step. He did, but I thought that gain was going to be a whole lot more. Picked up about 3, going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. So the Wolverines, Smiley, behind him is Frisk. And there you go. The hard count gets him, and that's going to be darn close to enough for a 1st down. I don't know if they're going to get it the way the sticks are marked. The line that gains right at the 30.
Yeah, it should be a yard short. So
I'm thinking, yeah, okay. I'm thinking it's going to be a short one at that.
Yep,
3rd and about a half a yard. Change the playbook a little bit. Remember, folks, Coach Bradley, he's not afraid of 4th down. So they got about the length of a football to get it in there. Smiley, we're going to get the tush push here? No, they're not. Curitan, no. Around the left side, and he's going to get, depends on the spot. I don't think he got it, Brad.
No,
because he was gang tackled there. Matthew Steele Jr., and he had some friends to help him. So really no gain on the play, if anything, a half a football.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think now it's going to be just the typical quarterback push. Lean forward, you'll get the first down.
So, but they got all the bigs in for New Brighton. They're hugging that line.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Smiley goes there off the right tackle. I believe that was Vinny Curie he was behind. He needed a football length, and he's going to get it all the way down to about the 18-yard line. So on a fourth and length of a football, he got about 5, 6, 7 yards.
Yeah, I think we're going to officially say the 17?
They have 18 on the clock. Now, there's a handoff. Gets a couple yards was Anthony Barbario. As I said, you'll see him get some touches in that running back position. He gets it inside the 15, down to just inside the 15-yard line as the Wolverines find themselves in the red zone. 7:27. This drive taken about 5 minutes so far.
I'm going to have to stand too here.
So there's up the middle. Gets a couple yards. Was Smiley on the keeper.
So it looks like it'll get it to the 12, so this should be about a 3rd and 4.
Yep, going to call it a 3rd and 4. Amicone checks in along with Dom DiNucci. So you're going to see the heavy wide receiver package now on this 3rd and 4. Ball on the 12-yard line. 2 wide outs right to the left. Smiley back to pass. He settles, throws it deep into the end zone, and out of the outstretched arms of Dom Hogue. I thought Smiley was going to go to one of the guys at about the goal line. He went to the back corner, and the ball falls incomplete.
Give credit to number 0, Bryson Porter-Jones. He had the pass broken up, so that was 0-on-0 action right there.
Curie was in the way back there. So big 4th and 4. Wolverines are 1 for 1 on 4th down. On the season coming into tonight's game, they were 12 of 25, so they went for it 25 times so far this season, Brad. They started this drive on about the 42-yard line on the 4th and 4, ball on the 12-yard line. 2 wide outs to the left, 2 to the right. Back is Smiley. He has time. Sets his feet, throws it in there, ball falls incomplete. He was trying to find Dom DiNucci running down that goal line. That's a ball over on downs, Brad. A big-time stop there by the defense of New Brighton to shut down that drive of the Wolverines. Wolverines looked impressive, but unfortunately stalled out.
Yeah, that drive there took us all the way down to 6:28, so about a 5.5-minute drive there. Unfortunately, once again, you got to finish and get points.
We say it all the time, Brad. You know, those long drives are great. You keep the offense off the field, but they don't mean much if you don't get any points out of it. So here comes the New Brighton Lions on offense. Carter Jackson in that shotgun, 2 wide outs to the right, 2 tight to the left. There's a handoff trying to go up the middle, and going to be dragging some white shirts along with them was number 24, Heath Lewis. Heath Lewis carried the ball 30 times so far this year, averaging 6.1 per carry. Got about 4 on that one. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. You don't realize how active a high school band is until you're sitting right beside them.
Yeah.
So the center, Caden Anderson, out over the ball on this 2nd and 7. Carter rolls out to his right, back to pass. Golo gives chase, throws it down there, and it's going to go out of bounds. Give the secondary of Ellwood City credit for that when they had everybody covered down the field, and Golo almost got him back there with the shoestring tackle.
If it wasn't for Carter taking one extra little jab step back, he could have possibly gotten taken down by the ankle area, but good pressure by Declan and company, and like you said, that's more of a coverage defensive play. Give credit to the DBs over there, Danucci, Dom Hogue, as well as the safety, the deep safety, Amicone.
So now on this 3rd and 7, coming in, pitches it out to the right side. Smiley's there, and he's going to slow him down, and there comes Golo, still running backwards, and O'Brien finishes him off. They're going to get a loss on that 3rd and 7. About 8 of the Wolverines touched him.
Number 1, that is Michael Cleckley II.
Was the ball carrier, kind of, I don't want to call it a jet sweep, but he tried to come around that left side, and really no room. And the thing, that Wolverine position, they call it, as Tyler Smiley, quarterback, doing something on defense as well.
Punting is number 0,
Yep,
Porter Jones, and Dom Hogue back to receive.
Dom standing at the New Brighton 40-yard line. Jones about 2 yards deep with a high snap. Wolverines give chase, and a nice kick. And he's going to take a New Brighton Lions bounce as he gets down at the 45-yard line. So
41 yard.
Yep, 41-yard punt. Wolverines are going to set up shop at the 47. We're going to call it the 46-yard line.
Yep.
So not much offense there for New Brighton as they started in their first possession. Wolverines, impressive drive, unable to finish in their first possession of the ball game. Let's see what they can do in the second. Fast-moving first quarter here, Brad. 4:48 remaining on that clock. Tyler Smiley in there with Richard Curitan, sidecar to his right. Back to pass. He wants to go deep. Finds his man down there. Ill-advised throw. It's intercepted by number 14. And he's going to be sacked, tackled at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and that's
Jackson Zahn was just playing out there in center field.
Yep, and that's the product of, unfortunately, grass. Daylon Curry turned and he slipped on the grass field, and he looked over at the sideline like, what am I supposed to do?
Yep. So New Brighton turns the tables here a little bit. They're going to start this drive from their 46-yard line. A nice return of about 14 yards there for Heath Lewis. Turnovers are huge in a ball game. Here we got Carter in the shotgun, sends a man in motion, hands it off to number 1. They give chase. Got to be a hold there, but they don't call it.
Absolutely a hold.
And still going to lose ground as he used that whole side of the field to get out there. And that was Dom Danucci coming in there, and his buddy Tyler Amicone to finish him off.
It's going to be technically a loss of 1.
Yep, on a 2nd down and 11. That running back was, I hope you got it.
Yep, it was number 1, Michael Cleckley in the 2nd.
Yep.
You're going to see Zahn. You're going to see Lewis. You're going to see a little bit of Cleckley. You're also going to see Jamarcus Morris, which is number 7, and then Dixon, number 6 as well. So
yep. To the left of him right now is Jackson, shotgun. You want to go back to pass. Gives chase, throws it deep down the field, and just overshot his man, number 1, Michael Cleckley. Cleckley, he's got some speed. He needed one more step there because Dom Danucci was giving chase, and Dom Hogue was back there as well. Ball falls incomplete. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. New Brighton 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far tonight. Starting on that offensive line is Matthew Steele Jr., Dominic Pasquale, Caden Anderson, Jaden Brown, and Khalil Castaneda for New Brighton. Now on this 3rd and 11, big play for the defense of the Wolverines, and somebody wants to talk about something, and that's the head coach of New Brighton as they're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a 3rd down behind the sticks, 3rd and 11. This is a big play for both teams early on.
Yes, it is, and that turnover was kind of huge that New Brighton got Heath Lewis on that interception. You know, you got the ball back, you got into the red zone, you got down to the 12-yard line the last drive. 4 tries, couldn't get her in, and now you find yourself here, get the ball back, throw an interception.
And I'm not making excuses for Daylon. He's got to make that play there. Unfortunately, grass field, it's wet. He turned left, he turned right. It's a 2-post route, which means you've got to turn your entire shoulder. He turned, and unfortunately, He fell.
Yes.
So that was a good catch, though, by number 14. Jackson's on for that interception. So
Yes,
big play
I'm
here.
sorry, I said Heath Lewis.
Yep. So big play here for both teams in the early going.
So after the timeout by New Brighton, they bring out that offense to see what Carter Jackson, the junior, 5'11", 160 pounds, loading everything on the right side. 3 wide outs to the right. Jackson awaits a snap, goes back to pass. Wolverines give chase. They got a man coming the other way. Gets the tackle, and he drags him down and puts the lick on him. Number 21 with the catch. Montanez, as Daylon Curry was trying to wrestle him to the ground, and it was Gullo, I think, or Amicone that came in to finish it off. So that play, thank goodness Daylon Curry was there if you're an Ellwood City fan.
Yes.
Because he had nothing but green grass behind him.
And he held on to it real well, and Amicone came off to finish it off, and here we go. Carter Jackson's still out there.
Yep, 4th and 7.
He is
ball at the
technically
49-yard line. 3 wide outs to the right. Carter now back to pass. Drake Davis giving chase. Chases him out of pocket. Just misses him. Carter wants to go deep. That ball's going to be out of bounds. Ball over on downs. Wolverines defense got the stop there they were looking for to kind of bail out the interception thrown by Tyler Smalley. 3:28 remaining here. Ball over on downs, and the Wolverines are going to start with pretty favorable field position. Ball right there at the 49-yard line.
Got to give credit to the coverage. 3 players there for Ellwood all around it, but more importantly, you said it, Drake Davis in the backfield, not once, but like 3 or 4 times already, and Declan O'Brien.
Yep, they're not able to quite finish, but they're making things a bit uncomfortable for Carter, the quarterback. So here's the Wolverines, their 3rd possession of the night. Handoff.
Still going
Still
forward.
going.
Still going
the
forward.
Still going.
Still
not
going.
blowing the whistle. They drug the pile 8 yards, so they did. As Cureton gets up from the bottom of the pile, maybe a little extracurricular activity there as he got up. Dominic Pasquale was holding on to him at the end, but he took that 3-yard gain and made it 9.5.
Wow. That's a big run on first down. And
a big run, and a lot of it goes to Richard Cureton, but his lineman not giving up on the play.
Right, 100%.
Play to the whistle blows. 2nd and 1 now for the Wolverines. Lots of options here now on a 2nd and 1. 2 wide outs left, 1 to the right. Cureton gets it up the middle, and he's going to get pushed back at the line of scrimmage. Not much running room there for Cureton that time.
Looks like number 51, Jackson Childs, helped out over there. So it's going to set up a 3rd and 1, a manageable one here, but you kind of want to get it done in 3rd, not 4th.
Yes. That's one thing we can say about the Wolverines. And they've gotten better the last 2 weeks.
Yep, and this is their 2nd possession in New Brighton territory. You want points.
Yep, ball at the 40-yard line on this 3rd and 1. Smiley under center. Barks trying to call him off sides. It's not working. Hands off. Frisk. He's going to get the first down. Needed a yard. Got about 4. Did Julian Frisk on that carry. So it's going to be a first down. Going to move the sticks for the Wolverines. Going to be 1st and 10, ball at the 36-yard line. $1:48 remaining here. Fast-moving first-quarter action. Smiley shotgun. Oh, little pre-snap activity. As we got two flags on the field. As I think the Wolverines are going to get their first penalty of the night. No, it was encroachment, and they blew it dead. So that's going to be an easy 5 yards for the Wolverines. Now bringing up a 1st and 5, ball on the 31-yard line. So minute 35 on the rolling clock. So as the center, Eli Moore, gets over the ball. Barbario kind of in that tight end slot position. Smiley rolling out to his right, and he wisely just throws it into the cheerleaders because he had nobody there to throw the ball to, and they got some pressure. And did they throw a flag?
They did for intentional grounding, and yet he was out of the pocket.
Yeah, I would think he was.
And
out
it got
of the
past
pocket.
the lead. It got past the line of scrimmage. It's out of the pocket. Yes, nobody technically has to be there. He threw it away.
We'll wait to see what the officials decide. I'm agreeing with you. Oh, they're
Thank
waving
you.
it off.
Oof.
So
Don't get influenced by the sideline.
So-
They were all calling for the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So they wave the flag off. So they're going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. Ball on the 31.5-yard line.
How big is that penalty now?
Yes, it is. Smiley under pressure, finds Barbario. Oh, what a hit. Makes a man miss, so wings his way forward. Ball comes out, but are going to say he was down, which I believe is the right call, as Barbario. Was that number 58 that had a beat on him
believe
coming
so.
across and put that first initial lick on him? Khalil Castaneda, and Barbario was able to kind of shed that tackler.
And unfortunately, number 12, Jerron King Jr. is coming over. He is holding his shoulder. He was the one that got hit there hard after contact, and now he's being looked at on the sideline here
Yes,
for New
he
Brighton.
is.
So,
Okay, 3rd and 2. Wolverines officially, we'll get that for you. On the night, I believe they're 1 for 3. 3 wideouts left. Handoff to Julian Frisk. He got hit in the backfield, but he's able to lunge his way forward. Not enough for the first down. Going to bring up a 4th down.
yeah, and there is a flag.
Okay, 22.9 seconds remaining.
And I think from the looks of it, it's against New Brighton.
No, it's
Illegal
against-
shift.
Yeah,
Or
false
against
start.
Ellwood. My apologies.
So they'll get to replay 3rd down.
And now that penalty is big.
Yes, it is, because that 3rd and 1 now becomes about a 3rd and 7. So I don't know if they're going to get this play off in time before the end of the first quarter. Now they might, 15 seconds. Hockenberry out there for wide receiver. 3rd and 7. Smiley gets the ball. They're wanting a hold there, and they're going to get it. As they busted through that, New Brighton busted through that line.
Yeah, and it's going to be a hold against Ellwood City. And now if you're New Brighton.
I think it's decision time. I know where you're going, Brad.
Yeah.
Go ahead with it.
If you force them back 10 yards, yes, it's still 3rd down, but you get them pushed all the way back to the close to the 50. If you keep them where they are, either Ellwood will go for it, or more importantly, they'll just punt and pooch it and get it in the end zone area.
Well, I think Coach Bradley, we've been covering him for 4 years now.
Yep.
He would just go for it.
He's going to say incomplete, obviously.
Yep, and they are they're making them go 4th and 7. They're not going to give them 2 tries.
Yep.
So they did not mark it off. They declined that penalty. So can the Wolverines make them pay? They need 7 yards to get this first down.
And it's going to leave you with just 3 seconds here, so they do have to get this play off officially as the clock is frozen on the flag, an incomplete pass. So this is big. This is going to end the quarter, basically.
Yes, it is. And the Wolverines would love to keep this drive going on this 4th and 7, ball at the 34-yard line. Smiley looks. He's got time this time. Sets his feet. Throws it down there. Oh, and he slipped.
It's the same thing. This grass
Yes,
field,
Daylon
man,
Curie.
same
He
thing.
had it where he
Oh.
wanted it, and the feet just went out from underneath him. That's ball over on downs. When we come back, we'll start the second quarter. New Brighton will have the ball at the Ellwood City 34-yard line. Welcome back, folks, as we start this second quarter. The Wolverines 3 drives, 1 interception, and 2 ball over on downs. New Brighton not done a whole lot offensively in that first quarter. Let's see if they can get something rolling here.
Fumble!
A fumble on the play, and that's going to be recovered by Ellwood City. Number 1, Dom Hogue, all over that ball. What a way to start off the second quarter, Brad. Who was the ball carrier?
That was Porter Jones check that. 21 was on the carry. So it was Montanez on the carry.
Montanez on the carry. One of the Wolverines.
I can think
it was
now.
probably in Barbario territory in that middle linebacker position to get his hand in there. So quickly the Wolverines come out for their 4th drive of the game, setting up shop, ball on the 37-yard line. 2 turnovers a game, 1 by each team. Smiley, 1 to go to Daylon, throws it down there, got his man, just overshot him. He had Dom DiNucci. Dom got behind the defense, and Tyler, under duress, throws the ball out there and unable to connect with the junior, Dom DiNucci. So, incomplete pass stops the clock. Now we're going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Not sure if they paid the electric bill or not, but we're getting kind of dark up here in the press box.
By the way, that forced fumble was by Cameron Mills, recovered by Dom Hogue.
I was hoping he would go back and look. Now, 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Daylon goes in motion. Handoff. Up the middle goes Curitan, and he gets wrapped up there by number 24, Heath Lewis. We've said his name several times tonight, getting the tackle. Positive yardage here by Curitan. He's got about 5. We're going to give him 4 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. 2-down territory for the Wolverines right now as they're sitting there at the 34-yard line. Here's Smiley. Sidecar to his left and right. Frisk to his left. Kieran to his right. Hands off to Frisk. Makes a cut. Rolls his way forward. He fumbles the ball. And I think they're going to say he was down as he was rolling over a body there. Frisk. He gets it down to the 30-yard line. Going to be short. So another 4th down here for the Wolverines. Wolverines 1 for 3 tonight on 4th downs. It'd be a whole lot easier if he just didn't have to deal with 4th downs and get some 1st downs on 2nd and 3rd. That was some John Maddenism there for you, Brad.
I figured such. Folks, you have to bear with us. Unfortunately, our scoreboard is stuck in place, apparently.
So on this 4th and 4, it is 0-0. Back to pass. Smiley throws it out there, finds his man, and he's going to be ridden down. A good tackle there as Daylon Curie made the catch. And who was in there? Bryce Porter Jones. Bryson was able to get him stopped all but about a half yard short. No, that was 3rd down?
That was 4th down.
I don't know what I'm just going on the sticks. The guy didn't change the sticks, so that's what confused me. So another ball over on downs. No, they're measuring. Wait a second, they're measuring. The ball was right there. As they wait for the measurement, we don't see many of these. And he's going to be
definitely short.
He is short. So now officially ball over on downs. That's 3 times tonight the Wolverines have not been able to convert on 4th down. More importantly, all 3 of them times have been in New Brighton territory. This time it happened on the 30-yard line. So I'm not sure what really is happening right now, Brad. I know Dakota's catching it on camera. I think they were just getting the ball set at the right place, but they wanted to be precise on that, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
It's amazing to me they bring it out. Measure it, set it down, then they pick the ball up and throw another one down there. after they take a couple steps. So 1st and 10 for New Brighton, ball on the 28-yard line officially. Hands it off, up the middle he goes, the biggest run of the night so far. Declan O'Brien was there to slow down number 21, Josiah Montanez. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. So Wolverines offensively have been able to do some things, but not able to finish at this point in the night. Let's see if the defense can bail them out once again as we come to a 2nd and 3. Hand off to number 1. Trying that left side. He's going to be gobbled up as Cleckley trying to use that speed to the outside. Gets a couple. Going to bring up about a 3rd down and 1. So Carter Jackson now. Has New Brighton got a 1st down? If they have, it's not been very many.
No, they have not yet.
9 minutes to go here in this 2nd quarter on this 3rd, and they're going to call it 2. Hands it off. 21 gets hit. He's going to get enough for the 1st down, was Montanez. And he's going to be a little slow to get up because he got pinball around there to make the catch, but he does, able to get himself up. So the first down of the night for New Brighton comes at the 9-minute mark, basically. The ball is going to rest right now on the 40-yard line.
I think we finally got our scoreboard finally working. What's the time?
Well, theirs not working either.
What's the time officially?
8:47 on a rolling clock. So now here comes New Brighton after getting their first down of the night. Everything in tight, 1 wide out to the left. Jackson under center. Tries a little reverse there, and that time it did not work. And had a little bit of a seam, but it closed quickly. Colton Gulo was in there.
Who carried that?
That's number 7.
Okay, perfect. I'm now with you. Whew.
So,
a little bit of extra work there, but we got it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So pickup of about 3 on the play, going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. Don't forget, folks, stick around halftime. We will have both the New Brighton Lions Band and the Pride of Ellwood City Lincoln High School Blue Band, as well as out-of-town scores. A lot of big games going on here, a lot of conference games. Hard to believe we're talking about playoff implications, but there are playoff implications this early going in the season. A timeout's going to be taken by the New Brighton Lions. Hey, folks, don't forget, every Thursday night, it's been a long time tradition. The urban legend has it, they fed Noah and the kids before they set the ark to sail. It's the Thursday night dinners put on by the Ellwood City Football Boosters. Last night's team dinner was provided by the Barbarios, Kayla Chappell and Doug Hogue. Oh, they served up chicken tenders, mac and cheese, and green beans. Good food, good times every Thursday night. A lot of the parents chip in and help with that. We certainly want to thank the Barbarios, Kayla Chappell, and Doug Hogue for feeding 60 hungry young men and coaches last night. And folks, don't forget Saturday, the place to be, Main Street, Ellwood City. Car show from 11 to 5, and then the big football booster bash, the cash bash. I think $30 gets you in the door. All the refreshment you care to drink. There'll be food. There'll be the roulette table, all that fun stuff. And, of course, cash prizes. Winning prize, $4,000. So be there, Main Street, Ellwood City, on Saturday on this 2nd down and 7. Back to pass. Give and chase. Throws it. There's an interception. As Dom Hogue gets the ball going down the sidelines, going to go out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Dom Hogue back there with coverage, and I'm not sure who was giving chase. I think it was Gulo. Was giving chase to Carter Jackson as he rolled out of the pocket, and Dom Hogue gets the second defensive turnover for the Wolverines, one via fumble, and now the interception. And Wolverines are going to set up shop
Looks like the 40, I believe.
Yep, right there at the New Brighton 40-yard line. Hard to believe, Brad, but like 3 of the 5 possessions of the Wolverines have started in New Brighton territory. 2 of the 5, I beg your pardon. But they've had the field advantage. Up Smiley going to keep the ball, pushes his way forward to about the 34-yard line. Host of New Brighton Lions was there to slow him down. Number 50, let's say he was there at the bottom of the pile, Matthew Steele Jr. So a nice pickup of, we're going to give him 4 yards on the play as the ball now sits on the 35-yard line. Now on this 2nd and 6, Smiley made him jump. Going to get 5 yards the easy way are the Wolverines. That's the 2nd time tonight that's happened, Brad. Yep. You just wonder if Coach Bradley didn't see something to say, let's try to do that.
And he's on the marker, so this should be a first down. Because it was, well, never mind. Check that. The sticks. I thought it was on the 40, but it's,
it's
going to be a second down and maybe the football length.
Yep, and we've had that before tonight.
Yes, we've had it.
So on this 2nd down, Smiley got Barbario to his right. Well, he's going to go up under center. Smiley this time going to push his way forward. If they give him forward progress, he's got the first down. He was pulled down from behind by number 58, Khalil Castaneda, and that is going to be enough for a Wolverine first down. 6:32 remaining here as the Wolverines been able to move the ball but not finish.
Well, Thad, they've got 25 plays on offense for 73 yards. The defense has been lights out for Ellwood. 13 plays for New Brighton, just 22 yards.
And 13, and remember, 2 of those 13 plays led in turnovers. So 1st and 10 now, ball on the 28-yard line. Smiley under center, back to pass. Throws it down there and on the wrong page as DeLon Curie zigged when he maybe should have zagged, and the ball falls incomplete. So now the incomplete pass going to stop the clock at the 6:01 mark. 0-0. Wolverines have been in the red zone, 3 times now tonight, Brad?
Yep, and they've been on the positive side of things of the 50, basically 4 or 5 drives, and they've got nothing to show for it. This would be a big one right before halftime.
Time of possession's got to be favoring the Wolverines. We'll have all that for you
doubled up
at halftime. As Smiley now sends DeLon Curie in motion. Smiley finds Dom Hogue. Oh, missed the tackle. Rolls his way forward. He cuts up the left side. Going to get a block.
Blockers.
He's down to the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Dom Hogue goes 28 yards. About a 4-yard pass, and it was all Dom Hogue after that to break up this scoreless game to make the score 6-0 at the 5:51 mark. Count it as a point off a turnover. Woo. He gets the interception to start the offensive drive for the Wolverines, and he finishes it with the 28-yard catch and go. We saw him do that last week. He had a pretty phenomenal week last week, and tonight just picked up right where he left off. Aiden Huth with the extra point. Oh, it gets blocked. So with that, the score is going to stay 6-0. 5:51 remaining. We'll be right back.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Oak Hill Field. 6-0 Wolverines. PAT unfortunately blocked there by Porter Jones for New Brighton. That drive, 4 plays, 41 yards, and a big 28-yard touchdown pass.
So Michael Clickley back to receive, but it's not going to get that far as it's taken there at about the 38-yard line by one of the up men.
Number 14.
That was number 14 did do that. Jackson's on. So the Lions will come in 1st and 10. Ball going to be right there on
41?
Yep, I'm going to call it
with the grass field here with no hash marks, I'm going to assume 41.
Yep, I think I'm going to go right there with you.
I like it.
So 5:48 remaining. If I recall, Brad, their scoreboard don't have it. New Brighton has 1 timeout left, and Ellwood City has all 3 of theirs.
I'm there with you.
So Carter Jackson, New Brighton with just 1 first down tonight. And hands off up the middle, number 24, kind of misdirection there, and Heath Lewis was able to get some positive yardage. So it's going to be 2nd down and 3. That play, Brett, I just got confused. I missed where.
Well, it could have been 3 people there.
Yeah, there was 3 people.
Could have been Jackson. I think Porter Jones was in motion, and then you had obviously number 24 is on right up the middle. And give credit to Colton Golo. I mean, that's a big tackle there.
Yes, it is. On this 2nd down and 3, everything in tight except for the 1 wide out to left. Sends a man in motion. Little misdirection, hand off to 24. O'Brien misses him, and he's going to go up there. Not Barbario. As Golo is in there. Or no, excuse me, folks. Cameron Mills was able to get the stop, but not after about an 8-yard gain. Take the ball into Ellwood City territory.
Yeah, give credit to Zahn. Back-to-back plays, basically 14, 15 yards, and that's pretty much half of the yardage total for New Brighton so far.
So not doing much offensively, but they did get a first down here on this drive. 1st and 10, ball in the 45. Zahn once again, and he's going to be taken down. Declan O'Brien is there along with Drake Davis. And depends where the spot. I think he's going to lose a yard, Brad.
Yep.
Maybe even 2.
And they're going to say forward progress gives them, wow.
So they gave him a yard out of what we thought was a loss on the play.
Okay.
But the officials, they're down there. They're closer to all the action.
Well, the initial hit there was by Nick Condell, and he bounced off him, so I'm wondering if that was that extra yard, basically.
So 3:57 remaining here. 2nd and 9. So 1 wide out to the right, kind of that, wing T type formation, Brad. Sends a person in motion. And we're going to get some stoppage in play.
I think it's going to be timeout.
Yep, timeout, New Brighton. There was something there the coach didn't like that he saw. So they're going to be out of timeouts.
What do you have for time there? What do you have on the time?
We got 3:42 remaining.
Perfect, thank you.
Here in this contest.
Yeah, they kind of got that.
Half.
They've kind of switched to that wishbone offense here, where you have 2 running backs on each side, the fullback being Zahn, and they're okay with just handing it off right up the middle, and I don't blame them.
Well, it just gives you that misdirection of who's going to get the ball, because one of these times it's going to go to the speedy Cleckley, and he's going to run around.
And honestly, this may be the first time. I know it's still early, but this may be the first time that somebody has actually ran north and south on Ellwood up the middle and has some positive yards. So give credit to Zahn and company. That offensive line for New Brighton kind of pushing them back.
They are, but don't get too enamored by that.
Yeah,
they have 2 first downs in just half a play.
Well, you start doing the same play 3 or 4 times in a row, people will start keying off on it.
Yep, and that's where I think the misdirection could come in.
Agreed. Agreed.
You got to stay home. You got to stay where you're supposed to be defensively.
So that's officially New Brighton out of timeouts here at the 3:45 mark. And Ellwood up only 6 here because of the missed PAT that was blocked. New Brighton on offense.
So now Jackson, shotgun, hands it off to number 21 and gets some positive yardage. Did Montanez. He gets a couple, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down, and I'm going to call it a long 5, Brad. 3:23 remaining here. As you said, Brad, New Brighton has used up all their timeouts.
Yep, and now that you're down to the 40-yard line, positive territory, this is 2 downs.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Yes, it is. New Brighton playing pretty tough here. Wolverines defense needs to get a stop. Declan O'Brien comes up that line to cheat. Shotgun. Goes back to pass. He's going to be chased around. Drake Davis gives chase. Misses him as he falls to the ground. Jones around just the 40. He's going to be tackled there, depending upon where he went down, and he is going to get enough for the first down as Carter Jackson ran about 70 yards to gain 6. As Drake Davis, he sees his frustration as he gave a dive to try to get him about 10 yards for a sack. And unfortunately, the speedy Jackson was able to get out of there and came up that right side, and he had a lot of green grass in front of him. So first down now for New Brighton. Ball on the 31-yard line. Carter Jackson is shotgun. Sidecar to his left, hands it off to him. Tries that left side and pals his way forward. Did Montana's. So going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. So a lot of hand signals. Well, for one side, and then the coach Carter Jackson comes to the sidelines, gets directions from their coach. So now 2 wide out, short side to the right, 1 wide out to the left. Jackson awaits. Gets hit, spins around, pinballs around, and who's there that time to ride him out of bounds?
Yeah, I think that was Mills and Amacone.
Yes, Mills was there, and Amacone was there to finish him off. And give Montano credit. He kind of hit that button and did the spinorama to get a couple more yards, but it brings up a long 3rd down and 7. $1:17 on a rolling clock. Here, remember, New Brighton out of timeouts. Wolverines up 6-0.
And again, no play clock here.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
A lot amount of time. Whew.
They've been standing out there. They got to be close. We'll watch the back judge. If that hand goes up, we know they're at 5 seconds. They're
There's
at
10.
10, yes.
And then when he opens it up.
Yep, there we go. Jackson under center, wants to try the pass, going the fade route. Got his man down there, and just threw his fingertips as Dom Hogue was there on coverage. Intended receiver was number 1.
Number 11, maybe?
Number 11.
I can't see from here.
He didn't turn for me yet.
We'll get a number here when he turns, yeah.
But, yes, it is number 1,
yeah.
Cluckley. And that was kind of that fade route all the way, and he just needed about 6 more inches to get the ball squeezed. Incomplete pass stops the clock. So it's 4th and about 6, 46 seconds remaining. Big 4th down here. Back to pass. Dumps it down there. There's your man, Montano. He's up the middle. He's going to go into the end zone for the New Brighton touchdown. On a 4th and 7, he goes 28 yards on that screen pass with 38 seconds remaining. Makes the score 6-6. Extra point forthcoming. New Brighton not done much offensively, but this drive was able to get something done. They went, 59 yards on that drive to make the score 6-6. Doing the kicking is Carter Jackson, 22.
No, going for 2.
Oh, going for 2.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I saw Jackson out there. He held up 2 fingers. So going for 2 is New Brighton. 1 wide out to the right, 1 to the left.
I'm going to
Jackson.
keep her.
He's going to keep her. He's going to get stopped there. Number 9 in there. Colton Golo wraps him up. So keep the score at 6-6 with 38 seconds remaining here in this second quarter of play. Don't forget, folks, stick around for halftime. Dakota will be on camera following the bands around, and we'll have the live mic on for you to enjoy that. Brad will be working, and myself, to get some out-of-town scores on some of the big games here going on, conference and otherwise. Don't forget about all the other sports going on. We had a busy week this week, a couple of girls' volleyball games and soccer game. Soccer does play tomorrow noon for a home game. So find your way over there to Helling Stadium to cheer on the soccer players. The cross-country team sitting with a record of 6-1, split during the week with New Brighton and Mohawk sitting in second place in section play. Boys golf regular season complete. Tam O'Shanter on Thursday. That's a big one. WPL final round next Monday. We'll be cheering on Jackson Rosansky and Jordan Keller. Tri-County Championship will be there on Friday. So Wolverines, they do have 3 timeouts, 38 seconds remaining in the contest. New Brighton hanging tough. Driving kick, and it's going to be taken there at the 20-yard line by Dom DiNucci. Cuts it around, makes a couple men miss, going to cut back upfield, finds his way all the way out to the 40-yard line. Almost a horse collar tackle, but I can see why they wouldn't call it. Number 6 brings him down. Dixon. So see what the Wolverines want to try to do here, Brad. Tie game 6-6. You do have 3 timeouts.
Yeah, and that's why you're going to throw this or run it or make big plays. Definitely. Yep. You go for something.
Go for the big one.
Officially, how much time?
29 seconds.
That's big.
First down does stop the clock to move the chains. Smiley now 2 wide outs to the right, 2 to the left. He's back to pass. He's got time. Surveys. Finds his diving attempt there by Tyler Amicone, but ball does fall incomplete. That play took 4 seconds. So now we're at 25 seconds. Incomplete pass stops the clock. And also with the bands, Brad will have all the stats up to this point in the game.
It's not pretty.
No, it's not.
But you expect that 6-6 on this New Brighton Ellwood Classic.
Yes. 3 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left, a sidecar to the right of Tyler Smiley. Gets a snap, back to pass. Rolls out of the pocket. Throws it down into Barbario and off his fingertips. And we got a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be illegal man downfield. I think Nick Condell went way too far. He was about, check that, 72, for Ellwood. Eli Moore, unfortunately, was about 12 yards downfield.
Yep.
I think he was expecting that pass, instant and go.
Right. And it was not, so that's going to knock off 5 yards. You got 19 and a half seconds. They'll replay second down. So marching back 5 yards. So that's going to be, now the ball's going to be at the 36-yard line. So I thought maybe the Wolverines would just be content, but 3 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Same formation we saw before. Smiley gets a snap. Going to get decked from behind, and
wow. It fell right back into Tyler Smiley's hands.
As he went back to throw the ball, and number 11 came in there unblocked, Joseph Kennedy. You saw him do it on the last play. Kennedy made a beeline for him on the last play, and I think the Wolverines not going to call a timeout. They're going to be happy just to go in at halftime with a score 6-6. New Brighton's offense didn't do much until that last drive, Brad, and they went for 2. Didn't get it. So we're going to start we're going to roll on through this second half just like we started. The score 0-0. 6-6, tie game. So.
All right, folks, we'll get things set up here for halftime. We'll take a moment here and get the mics ready to go as the bands are officially on the field. So give us moments here. Thank you for tuning in here. A good one for Oak Hill Field, 6-6. He doesn't feed him up.
Classic for the 1986 Broadway Classic. Here is our rendition of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Oak Hill Field. It's about halftime with about 3.5 minutes left before we start this third quarter, 12 minutes up on the board. Halftime score is 6 apiece. Ellwood City started with the scoring early going, but then the Lions, right before halftime, officially 38 seconds left before halftime, tied this one up. On your screen are the halftime stats. So far, it's been a bloodbath of who can get to 100 first. Rushing yards are pretty even. Ellwood 48, New Brighton 50. Passing yards 48 for Ellwood, 31. Ellwood was above the 100 mark, but that last play there of the half with the sack there of a loss of 5 yards kicked them back down to 96. Turnovers aplenty, now 3 in that first half. The grass field playing its due in this one. It's going to be who can stay straight up and catch a ball and not fall over. Penalties 2 for 10 for Ellwood, 3 for 15 for New Brighton, and it was an ugly but typical old school classic. Not that far away. Lions versus Wolverines, 6-6 halftime score. A couple individual stats so far in this one. Jojo Montanez, 6 carries, 22 yards. Heath Lewis, 4 carries for 19. You towed him up basically there. New Brighton, 15 plays on offense, rushing 50 total yards. For the Wolverines, Richard Cureton, 7 for 23, his lowest total of the season at halftime. Tyler Smiley, 5 for 17. Ellwood, 15 carries, 48 yards. Passing-wise, Carter Jackson had nothing going until that last play on offense, a big screenplay for 27 yards. He finished the first half 2 for 7, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, total 31 yards. So 1 pass of 4, 1 pass of 27. It's the most important one. They got 6 points out of it. For Tyler Smiley, a little bit better, but same thing, very similar numbers. 5 for 14, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, total of 48 with the long of 28 to Dom Hogue. So far, folks, the difference, the Dom Hogue show. 2 catches for 32 yards, a touchdown, some big return yards as well for Ellwood with Dom Danucci, 2 for 41. But more importantly about Dom Hogue, an interception, a return of 20 yards, and a fumble recovery. Some big numbers there. Defensively, we expect a lot from Dom on offense, but defensively, Dom has been the show for the Wolverines. Out-of-town scores, some of these have been obviously updating throughout the evening. The big ones in the MAC, actually we'll leave the MAC for last. We'll go to 1A Big 7. Laurel up big on Northgate, 29-0. Looks like Laurel will go to 5-1. Halftime, Farrell has a lead on Wilmington, 16-7. 1A Big 7, another blowout. Neshannock up on Shenango, 28-7. 4A Parkway, an upset possibly brewing here in some people's books per se. Aliquippa at Newcastle. Newcastle up at halftime, 6-0. And a non-conference one here, Washington at South Park. Both these teams definitely playoff teams in 2A level. And we got to start talking about the Prexies.
The Prexies
of Washington. It's 21-0 over South Park at halftime.
Oh, wow.
MAC Conference, here we go, folks. Mohawk and Union, as we expect, at halftime tied 7-7. Freedom, a 1-point PAT lead on Beaver Falls at halftime, 7-6. Obviously 6-6 here, so a bunch of 6 and 7s. The big one, folks, it may be upset brewing here. Last time we heard, a minute before halftime, Riverside up on Western Beaver, 19-13. There may be a reason why I cannot find that score. Maybe Riverside with the lead is kind of keeping the Golden Beavers a little bit tense at the edge of their seat.
That could be the case. And Coach Magnifico over there, he's kind of got a big weekend.
Yes, he does.
He's got to walk his lovely daughter, Michaela, down the aisle tomorrow. I know. I didn't know what was going to happen. I've not talked to Coach Maggs or his wife. When they planned that wedding, the Western Beaver did not have lights yet. And if Western Beaver did not have lights, that game would be played tomorrow, the same day as her wedding. So I have a feeling Coach Maggs would have let the assistant coaches take over those duties. But Western Beaver got lights, so they're going to be Friday night lights. And Coach Maggs can be there at the game. And then, of course, that walk. I got to do that walk this summer. And,
yes, you did.
And, boy, that's one, didn't realize that church line was that long. The aisle was that long until you have to walk your daughter down her and give her away to a young man. But all is well, and not. So waiting moments here away from kickoff here to start off this third quarter action. Brad said it earlier at the pregame. You don't want to overlook this team. You don't want to be thinking ahead to that big matchup next week against Western Beaver. And right now, I have a feeling Coach Dan Bradley's message in that locker room was, play like we have the last 2 weeks. Erase that first half and get on it and play like we have the first 2 weeks. I think if you're head coach John Masuga, you're saying, hey, guys, we are in this game. We are in this game. They got their offense rolling a little bit there.
And you kind of get a little bit motivated. Yes, it's band. What the heck am I trying to say here?
Not sure.
Alumni band here for night 4 New Brighton Lions. But more importantly, we talked about it, Thad. You don't want to go 0-3. And that,
right.
if that's not enough motivation as it is, you go 0-3, chances of you making it are slim because both these teams still have to play Western Beaver. Or
right.
for Ellwood, you got to play Riverside still. So
right.
there's some big numbers.
Riverside and Western Beaver.
Some big names out there.
If you get 3 conference wins, you can feel pretty sexy about making the playoffs. But you have those seedings you got to be thinking about down the road as well. So New Brighton had won the toss to start the game, and now they're going to they deferred, so they will be receiving this kickoff. We do have lights on here now, so might be a little bit easier to read some of this. Some of our 82 pages of notes Brad sends me before each game. So
I'll be reading those on the way home.
So starting the third quarter, 6-6, all tied up. Wolverines got their extra point blocked. New Brighton went for two, couldn't get that done. Huth drives the kick down there and going to go out of bounds, unreturnable. So now the Lions are going to set up shop. 1st and 10.
And it makes you wonder if New Brighton's going to force them to kick it again. I think they are. Yes, they are. I just saw the coach came over. I think this could be a re-kick.
I'm not.
No, never mind. Never mind.
No.
I would, if I was a coach, I'm re-kicking. Because you get the ball at the 35. They haven't had a kickoff go beyond that, so.
Right. The one time he does kick it deeper,
yeah,
it does go out of bounds. So.
And we know Huth. He can kick it to the end zone. The difference tonight is he's doing this on purpose to not give up, obviously, the big return.
Right. So with that, 1st and 10, ball on the 35-yard line for the New Brighton Lions. As we said, 31 yards of offense passing for Jackson on 2 receptions, but one of them was for 27-yard touchdown. There's a handoff up the middle. Going to get driven down there was number 21, Montanez. He's been doing a lot of the lifting here. Declan O'Brien in there for the stop, but not after Montanez picked up about 5. I'm going to give him a long 5, Brad. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 5. So as you said, Brad, either team was able to eclipse the 100-yard mark in that first half. You have the Wolverines that went over 400 last week against Freedom. New Brighton scored their first touchdown in 10 quarters in that second quarter of play. There's a handoff. That time tried the left side and not much going there. Holding on for dear life, but still rolling his way forward, depending upon the spot. He's going to be close to that first down marker. Declan O'Brien was right there, trying to drag him down from behind, but couldn't get it done. That's going to be a first down.
I'm just trying to figure out if it's a first down, the ball should be on the white chalk.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So now 1st and 10, ball just inside the 45-yard line. One wide out to the right, everything in tight, sends a man in motion, gives it to number 1, tries to waves up the middle there. Declan O'Brien there to drag him down. Big P.J. Du Bois falls atop of Michael Cleckley. Picked up about 2-3 yards there. Now, it's one thing we saw New Brighton start to do in that tail end of that second quarter, Brad. They weren't getting big yards on first play, but they were getting that 3 or 4 yards to kind of set things up. Remember, this is a team that didn't have their first down until 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Right, and once they got that first down, they finished both these teams with 5 first downs. Obviously, New Brighton there with 4 at halftime. But you said it, everything positive so far for the Lions' running game.
So now 2nd down and 7, ball on the 48-yard line. Sends a man. Oh, fumble would snap, but the whistle blew. I think there may be some.
Yeah, it's gonna be a false start here.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. We'll wait to see what the Men in Stripes officially has to say. And he officially says it's a false start. So not going to back 5 yards. We'll repeat that 2nd down play. So now there's your negative play, Brad.
Yep.
Bring up a 2nd down and 12. 10:09 remaining. So now this Jackson under center, hands it off. Golo got his hand in there. P.J. Du Bois was there to bring him down. And Montanez was trying to go up the middle. Got about 4 or 5 yards, almost got the penalty yards back. So now it's going to be 3rd down. Ball still in New Brighton territory at the 48-yard line. So on this 3rd down and 7. Everything in tight except for that one receiver far out to the left. Sends a man in motion. Jackson's going to try to keep the ball. Rolls it up that left side. He's going to be taken down there. Tyler Amicone was there to slow him down along with Tyler Smiley. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 2. Decision time here for New Brighton.
Yeah, and this is a no-brainer. You're sitting 0-2 in section play, and it's a no-brainer. You go for it because you're trying to be offensive here.
So, as they're 1 for 2 on 4th downs.
Officially 1 of 2. Yep.
Yep, 1 of 2. So now Jackson Carter under center. 2 running backs behind him. Hands it to the first man through. He's going to plow his way forward, and he's going to get enough for the New Brighton Lion 1st down.
I think that was I want to say it was Zahn, number 24. Or sorry, that would
14.
be Heath Lewis.
Yep, Heath Lewis.
My apologies.
So a nice run there, needed 2, got 3. It's just you try to see them numbers in the backfield because you just don't know who it's going to going to out of this formation. So now 1st and 10. For New Brighton. Moving the ball here. This drive started on their 35-yard line. Now they're at the Wolverine 44. Jackson. Handoff and gobbled up there was number 23 by Drake Davis. He rolls his way forward, and finally the team gets him down. Going to pick up about 2 yards was Montanez. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. It's just a little over 7 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Right now, New Brighton just kind of patiently taking their time, and although they've only gone 20 yards on this drive, are just kind of methodically going down the field. Not the big plays. Oh, there's a bad snap. It's going to go all the way back, and Jackson Carter wisely just falls on it as the ball kind of rolled back to him. A huge loss on the play as he falls on it all the way back at the 43-yard line. Big time loss of 16 yards on the play as the snap just was unable to get to him, but it was snapped hard so the ball kept rolling. So could this be a break that the Wolverines defense is looking for? Because now it's going to set up a long 3rd and 23. So now Jackson in the shotgun, 1 wide out to the left, 1 to the right. Makes the handoff, rolls out to his left, got a little bit of time, throws it down there, finds Porter Jones, and he's going to be well short of the 1st down. Just got it into Wolverine territory. So now it's going to bring up a 4th down and 12 as Jones picked up 11 on the play. Was that Golo over there to make the stop?
It was originally Dom Hogue, and I think Amicone actually came in as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Dom was the initial tackler.
So, big 4th down here, 5:22 remaining in this 3rd quarter. 6-6 all tied up.
Yeah, and if you're New Brighton right now, you are shortening this game by taking 6-7 minutes off.
Yes, exactly, Brendan. There's 7 minutes on this drive. They've gone 7 minutes to go 18 yards. Back to pass. Fakes the pin. Throws it, wants to go deep. Goes way down there, got his man, and it's going to be caught. What a catch by number 11, Joseph Kennedy. He bobbled it to tip it almost back to himself. That pass play goes 46 yards at the 450 mark. And that time Carter Jackson had some time back there, faked it to the 1 pass, and he went deep, arced that ball way up there. And who was there to get it? Number 11, Joseph Kennedy. That's his 10th reception of the season. He averages 8.9 per catch, but that 46-yard one there is going to up that average real quick. And just like that, it's 12-6, Brad. They put 6, going to try to go for 8 points on the board, and it took them 7 minutes and 10 seconds to do it. Now they're going for 2. 12-6. Big play, and there's a flag.
Illegal substitution by New Brighton. Yeah, so that's an illegal substitution, so either too many men on the field or, yeah, that's unfortunate. So that's going to back them up 5.
Yes, it is. And when you're going for 2.
Although, who knows, it may help you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got a little bit more, if you're going to try to pass the ball, a little more room for your wide receivers to work. I say pass the ball, but everything is in tight on this 2-point conversion from the 7-yard line. Fumbled the ball, but he picks it up. Rolls around, finds his man wide open. Good gravy. Michael Cleckley was there with nobody within 5 yards of him. 14-6, folks, in favor of the New Brighton Lions. Welcome back, folks. That drive, 65 yards, capped off by the touchdown pass to Joseph Kennedy. Here's a run up and the kick. Squib kick down there. Dom DiNucci's going to try to pick it up. Oh, my. He got decked. He went down to pick it up. And I believe that was number 34, the way he's celebrating. Lex Lambert. And no return at all there for Dom DiNucci, as he took the hit hard. So the Wolverines, I can't believe I'm saying this, Brad, their first offensive drive of the third quarter comes at the 4:46 mark. And I will tell you, this New Brighton crowd is into it. The band is into it. Wolverines need to answer. Now we have some fireworks. A little bit late, but nonetheless, it's fireworks. Tyler Smiley in the shotgun. Hands off to Curtin. And he's going to be gobbled up for not much gain there. Not sure who came in there. Number 11. Number 11 was?
Yep. Initial tackle, number 11, Joseph
Kennedy. He's woke up here in this game. Now it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. Remember, Kennedy was the one that knocked the ball out of Smiley's hand to end that last drive of the second quarter. So give Curtin 1 yard on the play. 14-6. Smiley with the throw. He's at the 50, the 40,
Colton
the 30, the 20, down to the 13-yard line. Colton Golo. Smiley was under center and just dumped the ball. As soon as he got it, Colton Golo was off to the races for a huge gain. Colton Golo, the junior, he just ran out of a little bit gas there, Brad, as he got it all the way down to about the 12-yard line. How long was that pass play?
That is
from 24 to the 12.
64 yards.
You need that big play to stop momentum, and that got it right there. 64-yard pass play that was about a 4 to 5 yard pass. Golo was in that tight end position that we've seen him do such good things out of blocking. That time he caught the ball. Wolverines 1st and 10. They can't get a first down. Ball over the head of Smiley. Oh, good grief. He falls on the ball all the way back at the 23-yard line. It's just been that kind of night for the Wolverines. you get that huge play, and then you come out and you'd lose about 12 yards. So now a 2nd and 22, ball on a 23-yard line. Hockenberry out there for wide receiver. DeLon Curie to near side. Smiley back. Surveys. They give chase. He's got blockers. Makes a man miss. He gets to the 20, the 15. Going to get hit there. Drives his way forward, not giving up on a play. He gets down about the 10-yard line, back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a flag. There was a block in the back.
Was there?
Yep.
I was hoping it was a late hit out of bounds, but for Ellwood City's sake. But the way the New Brighton coaches are acting.
Yeah, so he officially gets down to the 14-yard line, and then it's going to go all the way back.
Yeah, I should do a little bit better. I mean, it looks like about the 12. Now they're marching it off. So, you had this big play, and that was a nice run by Smiley. So it should be 3rd down, correct?
Should be.
Because they gave him the yardage for the run. But
maybe just a reset. So 2nd down, yes.
Yep, 2nd down. I don't quite understand that. Smiley back to pass. Here comes Kennedy off the edge. Throws it down there. Got DeLon wide open. Touchdown! Ellwood City, 23 yards to DeLon Curie. That time, the defender slipped.
Yep.
And DeLon was wide open for the touchdown. Wolverines down 14-12. They will be going for 2 at 2:44 remaining in this 3rd quarter of play. A great drive there by the Wolverines. Had some negative plays, penalty, and able to overcome it. That drive started on 24-yard line. Led off by the 66-yard pass play to Colton Gullo to get him inside the red zone. Smiley gets the deal done there. Now going for 2. Got Hockenberry. Remember the 6'2" freshman out there on the right. They wanted to go to him, and Smiley slips and falls and goes down. But the Wolverines get some momentum back here with that 76-yard drive, unofficial.
5 plays, 78.
78.
So, folks, we'll take one timeout here. 2:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 14-12, New Brighton.
Welcome back, folks. 2:44 remaining. Wolverines find themselves down 14-12, but they do score on their first drive of the 3rd quarter. Here's the run up and the kick. Going to be taken there, but fumbled. Picks it up at the 10-yard line is number 1, Cleckley, going around that left side, still on his feet. Going to be drunk. They're going to say he was down as he kind of slipped when he was under duress, and was able to, the official on Johnny on the spot called him down. I want to think that was maybe frisked down there to make to initially make it happen. So, Brad, we said, that field was a little bit muddy. You just wonder, is that ball getting a little bit wet too?
That's true. You never know.
Because we've seen some, just not able to pick them up, and by both teams. I mean, if it's slippery for one, it's slippery for the other. Little Mike Tomlin.
Jeez.
deep thoughts there.
From Ireland.
You're not going to hear my Irish accent.
It's
14-12 by New Brighton. They got 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line. Carter Jackson going to get hit there.
Is that Drake
Davis was in there to gobble him up, and I'm not sure he came in from the bottom side. But they made him pay.
Looks like no gain.
Yeah, so I think if you're Coach Bradley right now, you're like, guys, come on, your defense, you did it for 1 3/4 quarters in the first half. Let's get back to where we were.
Yep.
2nd and 10. The importance of not letting them get 3 or 4 yards on 1st down starts to change the playbook a little bit. Now Jackson in the shotgun. Oh, he had his man. Wants to go down there. Going to throw it up. And, Daylon Curie was there as Porter Jones became a jump ball. Porter Jones standing there at 6'3", Daylon at 5'10". Daylon had to play big. I really thought Jones was going to make a pretty acrobatic catch. He had a step on Daylon. It was right down here in front of us. Daylon closed quickly.
Yeah, and that ball hung up there. And now, unfortunately for New Brighton, making that toss play, now it's 3rd down and 10, and more importantly, it's at your own 20.
Have we seen a punt yet?
No, we have not.
1:52, fast-moving 3rd quarter, but remember, New Brighton back to pass. Jones wants to go down there, throws it way too far, and he goes out of the reach of Porter Jones. That's going to bring up 4th and 10. At your own 20, they're going to need to punt.
And Thad, again, how big is that kickoff fumble there? And it goes backwards, have to pick it up correctly, and now it's going to cost you. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be a punt from pretty much close to the 5-yard line.
Yep, he's standing on his 5 is Porter Jones. Dom Hogue standing at about his 47. Not much pressure. Decent punt, not going to be returnable, and it's going to go out. Oh, that's funny. He kind of stayed in.
Yeah.
Get him an extra 5 yards.
And check that. This is the 2nd punt by New Brighton.
Yes, as I was just going to correct myself.
Yeah. So that went to the 48-yard line of Ellwood, so about a 32-yard punt, but more importantly, no return.
Yep.
And a little bit of a bounce there.
So Wolverines will set up shop with 1:36 remaining as we get to this 3rd and final waning 96 seconds. You like how I did the math
I
there?
did.
That was,
I was impressed.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So far right now, totals, 34 plays for Ellwood, 184, 35 plays New Brighton, 151. So a little bit more yardage, a little bit more
but,
offense.
But, a third of this Ellwood yardage came on one pass to Colton Gould.
Yep.
So get a football in. It's hard to play the game without one of those. So now 1st and 10, ball on the 48-yard line. Wolverines set up shop. Just their 2nd offensive drive of this half. Kennedy just comes. That should be. They're going to say it was a fumble.
No, I think they're going to say it's intercepted.
No, intercepted?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
By number 12.
Number 12, as Smiley got hit, I'm telling you, Brad, I've seen it how many plays now. Joseph Kennedy, number 11, coming off that right defensive end position. Kennedy, 6'2", 165. He's got some length to him, and he just was enough to disrupt that throw. And who'd you say, number 12?
Yep, number 12, Jerron
King Jr. And New Brighton leading 14-12 with 1:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Take things over. And right now, Kennedy's just having a field day coming from that side. They're going to have to do something to slow him down. That's 3 plays in the last 8 that he was in on. There's a handoff. Tripped up.
Big trip by number 9. Colton Golo, because if not, I have a feeling Montanez may be still running.
Yeah, he had a seam there that he was trying to get to. And Golo was able to get that. If Dave Steffler Window Cleaning is listening, this is a shameless plug. He should really go around to press boxes.
Yes.
Especially the week before we're going to be there and clean the windows. Dave Steffler, great guy, son's in the band, and they do a lot, give a lot to help out the boosters and things. So shout out to Steffler Window Cleaning. There's a handoff to number 20. Oh, what a tackle by number 10.
18.
Tyler Smiley wanting to make up for that interception. A loss on the play of several. Going to bring up a 3rd and 12.
Wow.
25 seconds remaining in this third quarter of play. Ball just resting on the New Brighton side of the 50-yard line.
And that may be one of the very few times tonight that we've seen a tackle for loss for Ellwood, but it comes at a really good, important time.
That's something we normally do see. You coming into the night, you had several of them. Folks, that is going to be the end of the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. We got a ball game, 14-12 in favor of the Lions. Welcome back, folks. It's 3rd and 11. New Brighton going right to left. Ball on the 50-yard line. Big third down play. Back to pass. It's Carter Jackson. Drake Davis giving chase. Needs to set his feet. Throws it down the field, and no one home. Ball falls. Incomplete. There's a flag there, Brad. You see that?
Either this is going to be an illegal man downfield or a hold, I believe.
But it's almost in that.
It's an interesting location because
yeah,
it's in the backfield.
You don't think of a hold not in the backfield.
Now the question is, do you send them back?
Well, it was.
It looks like they're going to
3rd
take
and 11.
the hold. Yeah, it looks like Ellwood's going to take the holding penalty or illegal man downfield.
Yes, illegal man downfield. You got the call. Johnny on the spot is Brad Windhorst. So that third.
Oh,
and
that declined. Okay.
Okay, going to make it 4th down.
Yep.
So, New Brighton with the lead, 14-12, 11:51. That was the first play of the fourth quarter. Going to be in punt formation.
I just don't want you tripping in.
I know. That's what it's happening. Well, this post is like in the most inopportune spot. Ball on the 50 on the 4th and 11. Dom Hogue back to receive. Nice, high, good hang time kick. And it's going to be down there at the 23-yard line. So about a 27-yard kick. With 11:42 remaining, it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Tyler Smiley, 1 touchdown pass tonight, but 2 interceptions. And the one, you get hit like that from the backside. Arms going forward.
2 passing. 2 passing. You got 2 touchdowns, one to Dom and one to Daylon.
Yes. I was just checking to see if you were paying attention. See if you were listening to what I say. It is nice when you do that. 3 wide outs left, 1 to the right. Quick pass out there. Dom Hogue this time cuts it upfield. Gets up there, and a nice pickup. Was there a face mask? Because it sure looked like there should have been.
Yep.
As Dom was weaving up through there, and I think there is a flag on the field.
Or could it be? They're going to talk to
the officials are going to converse.
We'll see officially. I thought it was a face mask, depending on how this went out.
It looked like it.
Yeah. So he gets about 7 yards. And it should be on top of it.
We'll wait to see what they say here. Personal foul. You called it. I saw it. Face mask. So at the end of the run, And I'm going to say he picked up darn near 9, Brad, quite frankly.
Okay.
So that biggest penalty of the night. The game's been pretty clean penalty-wise. We've seen worse, of course, so far this season.
Yep.
So the Wolverines, after the 15-yard penalty, will set up shop at the New Brighton 47-yard line. 3 wideouts right, 1 to the left. Brings Richard Curtin to his left is quarterback Chris Smiley. Smiley, hands off. No, he keeps it. Little Statue of Liberty play, and he's going to get out there to about the 5-yard line, and another flag comes in as Porter Jones went over there and kind of persuaded Smiley out of bounds pretty hard.
Ooh, nice words.
Hey,
You've been doing this a little while.
Well, I've been trying to read more.
So I think he did officially pick up a yard. No.
I'm thinking it's going to be about 4.
No, yeah, you're right. They're marking it at the 50 officially, so
Yes,
3 and then whatever on top.
As they're still conversing. Personal foul. It's going to go against them. Wow. Wolverines on the last 2 plays had positive yards, but they pick up 30 on 2 penalties.
And, folks, on your screen, one of the things was keys to the game, and I did not put it there. Never mind. Oh, I had penalties ready to go. Oh, I took it
There's
off.
no law saying you can't have 4 keys to the
That's
game.
true. That is true.
I like your 3. They're always good. They're usually spot on. But
You are right. That was going to be a 4th key to the game. Put
first and 10 now. The Wolverines, 11:07. Handoff. Curtin going to get down to that 30-yard line. Was Curtin. Number 12 at the bottom of the pile, Javon King, who had that interception on 2 drives ago for the Wolverines. So maybe the Wolverines have had the fumble and the 2 interceptions. New Brighton really hasn't had the opportunity to score off of those drives, if I recall. Remember, folks, you can check out this game. Going to be offsides. Wow!
My goodness.
35 yards of penalties. Where did this drive start at, Brad?
It was
I didn't write it
the
down.
punt got us. Let me check here 1 second. So it's going to be offsides, New Brighton. That's going to get them an extra 5 down to the 26.
On a 2nd and 7. 2nd and 6.
51 yards from here, so what was that?
I'm sorry.
24.
It's at the 24.
It's a
It's
25.
at 26.
It's about the 25-yard line or something like that?
Yeah. My point is, 35 of the 56 yards on this drive, the Wolverines have had handed to them. So now a 2nd and 1 ball on a 31-yard line. Wolverines down by 2. Smiley gets, Smiley going to get taken down maybe right behind the line of scrimmage as number 52 gets in there to disrupt things, Dominic Pasquale. So now 3rd down. They are going to give them about to the line of scrimmage, so maybe even gain a little bit because it's going to be 3rd and about 2 lengths of the football. Third and 1. Wolverines. I just get nervous when they try to rely on 4th down too much. 3rd and 1, Smiley. Handoff Curtin. And he's going to be trying to roll his way forward. And I don't think he's going to get forward progress to be enough for the 1st down. As the Lions, the right side of that Lions defensive line was not full. Is that a flag I see go up?
No,
that was a mouthpiece getting thrown.
Yep.
So now 4th and 1. Wolverines had 3 turnover on down so far this evening. They don't want a 4th one here. Down by 2, 9:17 on a rolling clock. The crowd, the band, the student section of New Brighton getting into this one now. It's 4th and 1. Smiley under center. Curtin behind him. Smiley trying to draw him off sides. New Brighton not being fooled. He rolls his way forward. He's going to get the push and get the 1st down. He needed a length of a football, and they're going to give him about 2 yards. New set of downs for the Wolverines. They get to live another day.
I think they're going to say 23s. We'll go 23-ish.
Okay.
There's no hash marks, unfortunately.
Right. So our guesstimation is either way, he got enough for the first down. So 1st and 10, ball is on the 23-yard line, 8:35, 14-12 in favor of New Brighton. Smiley wants that quick pass again, and that time it didn't work.
And that's an incomplete pass.
And I think
but they're going to call it a fumble.
They're going to call it a fumble. As he went back, it looked like he was going to pass. Almost looked like that same pass to Colton Gulo again, well covered that time. Yes, the head official there did call it an incomplete pass. As he was moving forward.
It's 8:23.
Yes. So official Johnny on the spot there. So now, as the Wolverines set up on his 2nd down and 10, Barbario's in the backfield with Cureton. Smiley under center. Hands off to Cureton. Tries the right side. Kennedy is there to pull him down. Not much running room there for Cureton. Kennedy was there to hit him along with number 12 and 24, Javon King. And Heath Lewis staying there 5'11", 175, but he has a way to find a ball. So now ball on the 20-yard line, 3rd down and 7. Cam Hockenberry, the freshman, checks in for wide receiver. So Tyler Smiley getting to the huddle. We don't have a play clock. We'll wait the official. There's your 10 seconds, and they are to the line of scrimmage. Dom Hogue, short side, near side. Back to pass. Wants to find Hogue. He's going to get gobbled up. Makes a man miss. Rolls his way through there and gets positive yardage down to about the 18-yard line. As number 50 was there to hit him, Matthew Steele. And slow to get up is one of the Wolverines. Actually still on the ground. I do believe that is Tyler Smiley. As he's laying there on his stomach. Now he gets rolled. That's not Tyler. Beg your pardon. Did not get a number. That is number 72. Eli Moore, the center, getting looked at right now. It's going to be a 4th and 5. So as they're going to tend to him, we're going to take a timeout, folks. Welcome back, folks. Eli Moore, the center, is walking off the field under his own power, but a little hitch in his giddy up there as want to maybe drag that leg a little bit. Now the question is, Brad, you got a 4th and 5. Who's going to come in and play center?
Yep.
But on this big 4th down.
Ellwood is 2 for 5 on 4th down. 4th down and 5.
Yep.
And so sliding over the center.
It's Patterson.
It's going to be Patterson.
He's also the long snapper. So a big 4th and 5 here for the Wolverines. They're down by 2, 14-12. Need a first down here.
So they're trying to blow the.
No, they wanted to start the
play
clock.
But yeah.
Now Smiley back to pass. He's got time. Oh, a short pass. Was not able to get it to the hands of Richard Cureton coming out of the backfield. And that is the 4th time tonight, Brad. The Wolverines, that time all but in the red zone, get the ball turned over on downs. Defense got to step up now. So they do. So, hey, want to give a shout out to our friends over here at Beaver County Radio. They are broadcasting the game tonight on all of their media outlets, 99.3, WK, I don't even know what they all are, but they will be doing the Riverside Freedom game next week. So we got homecoming next week and a huge game, Western Beaver, but the Wolverines want to finish things out here and stay undefeated in conference play. They find themselves down by 2 at 7:02 remaining. There's a handoff, up the middle he goes. Dom Hogue finally gets Montanez down, but enough to move the sticks. Maybe the longest run of the night. Gets it up past the 30-yard line for a little over 11-yard pickup. Wolverines not want to do that, and right now, if you're New Brighton, you're just content getting 4th downs with 6:48 remaining on the game clock. So everything uptight. Sends a man in motion. Little misdirection. Up the middle he goes. And once again, Montaneau didn't get a first down that time, but he got about 9 yards. As Tyler Amico was there. Oh, Heath Lewis. I'm sorry. So now, going to bring up a 2nd down. And I'm going to say a long one. Patterson's going to come in there on that defensive end spot. You got Drake Davis, P.J. Du Bois, Craig Patterson on that front line. Declan O'Brien, Colton Golo, Tyler Smiley in there. 2nd and 1. Lots of things that New Brighton offense can do right now on a 2nd and 1. Sends a man in motion. Hands it off. And that time he's going to lose yardage. Tackle for a loss. As number 8 gets in there, Cameron Mills with Drake Davis on the side.
They didn't even give him a loss. It was definitely hitting the backfield. There's no loss.
Yes, I don't see that.
That's a bad spot.
It's
a terrible spot.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
3rd and 1 and actually now
That's
they
crazy.
give him 3rd and 3, but they didn't move it back that far. So a big 3rd down here, and although not much in the 1st and 2nd quarter by New Brighton on 3rd downs, they've been a little better here of late. There's a handoff, and this time they keep him, and he drives himself forward. I think he's going to be that 2nd effort might have been enough.
That spot of the ball, previous play, cost them. That's a bad spot. And now
so that was number 7, Jamarcus Morris, I do believe, with the carry.
Yep.
So now you're talking 4th and inches. And I don't know, if you look at the yard marker, Brad, and where the stick is at the other side, I think it's enough for a 1st down. And bringing out the chain gang.
It's a 1st down from where I'm seeing.
Yeah,
but
that's what
again, it doesn't like this bad spot. Previous play just cost Ellwood.
Well, and give Morris credit, that 2nd effort to roll forward. And he does. That is going to be New Brighton 1st down. A new set of downs, 4:46. Suddenly the clock does not become Ellwood City's friend. 14-12. So 1st and 10 for New Brighton. Game clock starts. Ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to run it up the middle, Brad. Sends a man in motion. Hands off to number 24. Up the middle he goes. Another 9. You're almost going to get enough for a 1st down as Heath Lewis, the junior, 5'11", $175. And they're just doing what they want right now, Brad. Gets 9 yards once again. He brings up a 2nd down and 1. As Nick Condell comes back in there to try to help on that defensive line to get a stop. So here we go with Carter Jackson under center. I think right now he's just looking at that back, Judge. You see when that clock, when he needs to snap it. Hands off. Oh, wow. It just gets the 1st down. Heath Lewis is having a field day right now, Brad. That's about 5 carries in a row where he gets from 6 to 11 yards. The Wolverines just not having an answer for it. I really think, I know you only have 3 timeouts, but if you're Ellwood City, you want to call a timeout here, and they do. And they do. You just want to reset things and try to get a stop. It's 14-12, 3:34 remaining in the contest. Don't forget, folks, Wednesday night will be the band festival. It was canceled this week. It'll be up there at Taggart Stadium. So if you want to support the band, you can head out there and do that. We're going to have girls volleyball Tuesday night and Thursday night this week. Wolverine volleyball team girls played tough last night, losing to Riverside 3-1. And we'll wait to see what they can do. Cross country got some stuff happening this coming week. Girls tennis, their regular season is complete. They defeated Beaver Falls 4-0. With the last game suspended due to rain, EC was leading. So, Brad, I think if people looking on your Twitter feed are going to be surprised to see this score, 14-12. Wolverines would like to change that around. Wolverines with 2 timeouts now remaining on a 1st and 10, ball on the 44-yard line. So there's Jackson. Oh, he loses the ball, picks it up. Drake Davis gives chase. O'Brien's chasing after him. Jackson needs to throw it away, and he does. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. Wow, just one of them nights. Drake Davis has done that several times where he just nips at the heels.
Well, I'm going to pull the Lawrence County Sports Network James Dotson call here. If you're Ellwood, how in the world is that not an illegal man downfield? When you scramble something like that, you know for sure somebody's gone beyond 4 yards.
I didn't even pay much attention to that.
Yeah.
But there's guys on the field that are supposed to do that.
And unfortunately, with that play, I mean, at least it stops the clock for
Yes,
Ellwood.
it does stop the clock, but it went from possibly being a 2nd and 20 to or longer, 2nd and 10. So here we go again on 2nd and 10. Sends a man in motion, hands off. Going straight forward, fighting for yardage is Heath Lewis. He's going to get about 5 yards. It looks like Ellwood City's going to need to call another timeout at 3:15 remaining. Wolverines got to get a stop here. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about a long 5. And right now, if you're New Brighton, certainly 4 down territory. More importantly, with what they're doing right now, they're burning up Coach Bradley's timeouts, for he only has 1 remaining. So they're going to put some more time back on the clock, it looks like. Up to 3:20. Valuable seconds if you're the Wolverines. If you're New Brighton, that clock can't run fast enough. So, had some big plays here. You and I talked beforehand. Those big plays could be the difference of the game. And for this, the Wolverines need a big play now. 3:20 remaining. Wolverines 1 timeout. New Brighton on the field after that Wolverine timeout. Carter Jackson under center. This time hands it off to Lewis. And doesn't get much that time. Going to get about a yard or 2. So now a 4th down. The Wolverines call their 3rd and final timeout at the 3:14 mark. So ball is sitting there on the 39-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th and about a 4, Brad, don't you think?
Yep. So that's great. We were just listening to individuals beside us. They said the same thing I was thinking. The punt so far tonight has been good for New Brighton, so you could punt it away, no timeouts, make Ellwood go the full field. at the same time, you get 4 yards in the cloud of dust, this game's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
well, I think the way the clock would go, they'd have to get another first down, but you would could certainly milk that clock down a whole lot more. So on the 4th and 4, and it does look like New Brighton sending everybody out there. So big time play here. Jackson under center. Gonna bark a little bit, wants to cop them off sides. And I think they moved.
and they're not going to call anything.
No, they didn't call.
Wow.
No flag.
No flags, no nothing.
If you're the Wolverines, you'll take it.
Yep.
Carter Jackson, who came through there?
I think it.
Was it Gulo?
I think so.
If you can read, that just blows my mind.
I think
because
you are correct.
It looked to me like a New Brighton Lion moved before the snap.
It looked like it. I agree with you. And
but a win-win for the Wolverines. I think
it was Drake Davis.
Drake Davis gets in there.
Yeah.
I think half the team thought there was going to be a penalty. Drake Davis played till the whistle blows. So Wolverines with some life. 30 minutes and 11 seconds. 1st and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line. Throws it out there to Dom Hogue. Makes the first man miss. Second man, falls his way forward just about to the original line of scrimmage. I think New Brighton was ready for that play. Kind of obvious they were ready for it. Drake had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Or Dom Hogue, I'm sorry. Now, 2nd down and 9, 2:50. The Wolverines got a fair amount of time. They just got to be smart here. Back is Smiley. Wants to go down the field.
He's got him.
His man. Daylon Fury gets it down to the 8-yard line. What a pass. What a catch as Daylon got behind. The coaches in the press box decided they're wanting a horse tackle. You're wanting it, Brad.
Yep, but we'll take the first down either way.
We'll take the 1st and goal inside the 6-yard line.
And
that ball went a long way, Brad.
Now you're Ellwood.
Tyler Smalley, where was that ball placed at? Well, anyway, Wolverines down by 2. 1st and goal from the 6. A fumble, no! And falls on it is New Brighton. Smalley tried to hand it off, and who ends up with it? Number 51, Jackson Childs. Oh my, how the turntables have turned. The Wolverines set up shop, 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. They actually tried to hurry. They didn't need to. Almost wanted to milk the clock. Ball's going to be at the 10-yard line. Jordan had that about a 62-yard pass play to get him down there to the 6. 2:20 remaining. And right now, if you're New Brighton, you just got to hold on to the ball. Timeout taken by New Brighton. Wow, Brad, this game's had a little bit of everything. We've had some kind of crazy games so far this season. So, the timeout taken. The coaching staff for New Brighton, they're just about 1 first down away from putting this one away. And the Wolverines, I really thought they had things set up where they wanted them 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. No, but it don't matter. So it was 1st and goal at the 6 or 1st and goal at the 3.
Yeah, it just seems like it's one of those nights. Just walking in here, you just kind of felt like something was going to be interesting. That's for sure.
So now New Brighton setting up shop at the 10-yard line. I think they're trying to get people lined up, and they do. Sends a man in motion, hands off to him. Going to bust up through the middle for not much yardage here, maybe a yard or two. It was Martinez with the ball that time. Now it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9, 2 minutes remaining in the contest. So they're going to, no play clock to watch here for New Brighton. They're going to rely on that back judge. He holds out his hand for 10 seconds. So, Jackson, hands off. Up the middle he goes, and he's off to the races. He's going to get drugged down there all the way out at the 48-yard line. That gets your yardage a whole lot better as Heath Lewis, he's really turned it on here in this 4th quarter, Brad. Heath Lewis been the featured back, and he made him pay that time. He took it all the way from the 11-yard line out to midfield. Got 39 yards on that carry, 1:15, and victory formation now for the New Brighton Lions. They can play out the clock here. Takes the knee is Carter Jackson with 1:02 remaining. Coaches tell him you got to get one more snap, one more play. Stick around, folks. End of the game, we'll have maybe some out-of-town scores. Brad's going to get you the stats. And Wolverines will find themselves with 1 loss in the section. Their record will fall to 3-3. That'll match New Brighton at 3-3. 30 seconds remaining. Jackson going to take the knee, and he does. And they're just going to sit there and wait for that clock to strike 0. Wolverines lose a tough one tonight, Brad.
Yep, unfortunately, that's how it goes. And, well, if you're an Ellwood fan, you're happy that you won the first 2 games of the season. That's going to be very important because you still have a path to the playoffs, obviously, and more importantly, just winning more games will get you in. But that's a big one. That kind of hurts you in terms of where you finish in the standings.
Yes, you do, but you still got to keep winning. You got a big one coming up next week against Western Beaver. New Brighton will be taking on Mohawk next week. You know, this New Brighton team came in, as I said, Brad, only scored 6 points in their last 2 games. Tonight they came in, only scored 14, and that was enough to get the win. Talk about special teams. You had the extra point get blocked, and then you missed the 2-point conversion. And New Brighton misses a 2-point conversion, makes the second one, and that's going to be the difference in the game. So Brad's going to look there for get your stats. I'll try to help him find some out-of-town scores as we'll wait to see the final here. 14-12 from Oak Hill Field in New Brighton.
And Thad, one of the things that we talked about that unfortunately is going to cost Ellwood here, turnovers. Oof.
Yes.
That back end, unfortunately, just not very consistent. And in the end, they actually lose the turnover battle. So we'll put those stats up here in a second. All right, folks. So let's officially put up the record now for Ellwood City. They fall, unfortunately, to 3-3, 2-1. For New Brighton, they improved to 4-2, and now 1-2 in section play. I can't hear myself think right now.
Yeah, band's rolling pretty good.
Yeah, so there we go, folks. So now the scoreboard is set up. Let's put the game stats up there. Final stats. This is going to be crazy to think this way, but Ellwood did officially outgain New Brighton. It's mainly because of the 2 or 3 fumbles there by New Brighton that lost them 20-some yards here and there. But it was close, but unfortunately, in the end, yards don't matter. So final score, New Brighton 14, Ellwood 12. Rushing yards, all New Brighton. They eclipsed the 100 mark, obviously, in the second half, 139 to just 59 yards. Passing-wise, another good night for passing for Tyler Smiley. Unfortunately, it came with some interceptions. He finishes with 195 passing yards, 2-3 big plays, 40, 60-some yard chunk plays. And then on the flip side, New Brighton, just 88 yards passing, but it was enough and effective to kind of keep Ellwood in that first half off guard, shall we say. Total yards, 254 to 227. The 3 turnovers is what's going to cost Ellwood on the night. Only 3 penalties, and we thought for a moment there that drive with all those penalties, New Brighton was going to maybe give up something, 8 for 62, but again, they
35 of those 62 came on. I don't mean to interrupt, Ben. 35 of those 62 were on one drive.
Yep. Richard Cureton, let's go into some individual stats. Richard Cureton, 11 carries for 32. Not a good night, unfortunately, running the ball for Ellwood. 12 carries for Tyler Smiley, 19 yards. He had some big plays, but a couple fumbles there, lost 4 or 5 yards. In fact, he had 39 yards, lost 20 in the game. So Ellwood finishes with 26 carries for just 59 yards. Heath Lewis, 12 carries, 90 yards.
Wow.
Jojo Montanez, 14 carries, 51 yards. Jamarcus Morris, 2 carries for 5. Again, New Brighton, 39 carries for 139. Passing-wise, Carter Jackson, 4 for 13, just 2 incompletions in the second half. That was it. They threw the ball twice or so in the second half. 4 for 13, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, 88 yards along of that 46, and that was one of the big plays. For Tyler Smiley, 10 for 22, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, some big plays along of 64 right before that play happened, and finishes with 195, but unfortunately just falls short. Receiving, Joseph Kennedy, 1 for 46, Jojo Montanez, 2 for 31. For Ellwood City, Dalen Curry, 3 for 78 and a touchdown. Colton Gullo, 1 for 64. Dom Hogue, 4 for 40. And there are your individual offensive stats. Defensively, leading the charge for the Wolverines, Cameron Mills, 10 tackles and a forced fumble. On the flip side, number 50, Matthew Steele Jr., 7 tackles. And give credit once again to number 51, Jackson Childs, who had the official fumble recovery to seal the deal. Let's see if we can get some out-of-town scores real quick here.
Farrell, 44. Wilmington, 7.
Oof. So there's one of your scores. We'll see if we can get anything else out there. So we run through, finish this game tonight. I have Newcastle 12, Aliquippa 6. That was in the third quarter. Neshannock blowing by Shenango. 42-7 was the last updated score. So that one's in the Lancers side of things. Beaver Falls upsets Freedom 12-7.
No
so Beaver
kidding.
Falls
Beaver Falls
goes
might
to
be better than
2-1.
what we thought.
And Mohawk is up on Union 21-13 late in that one. Laurel 49-0. So there are some big scores there. Some intriguing max scores. If you're Ellwood, you got to seal the deal and make things happen. Unfortunately, tonight they fall on the short side. Again, Farrell over Wilmington 44-7. We'll try and get you any other score, specifically that Riverside score. South Park down 28-0. So let's see if we can get any score updates for the Riverside Western Beaver score. Let's see here. And if I don't get one, we'll call it there.
I'm not finding a Riverside score, but you.
Yeah, that's makes you wonder what's going on down there in Western Beaver. Never know. Yep, a lot of people were asking. I see everybody asking, what's Western Beaver? and no responses. So we'll keep that one a prize. But if we get an update, folks, we'll let you know. But here we go. Final score. New Bright Lions 14, Ellwood 12. Thad, take it out.
So, 14-12. Tough loss here for the Wolverines tonight. Had that momentum. I thought we were going to see a little bit of that late fourth quarter magic once again, but obviously fell short of that. Folks, you can keep apprised to all of these stats. Check out Brad's Twitter account, our Ellwood City Wolverines Facebook page, and Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, all the cool kids are doing it, so Brad finally got on it, and we have that. And Band Festival Wednesday night, Lawrence County Sports Center will cover that, but make your way up to Taggart Stadium in Newcastle, support them. Brad will be putting it out there in the next 48 hours, our schedule for the upcoming week. for all of your high school Ellwood City sports action. So Dakota Marshall was not on the, you didn't hear his voice tonight because he was out with amongst the peeps running the camera in the stands. So we thank Dakota Marshall and, of course, Brad Windhorst, our producer, and myself, Thad Sturgeon. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast as much as we've enjoyed presenting it to you. Good night, everybody.